Welcome back. Yes, turning our focus to Zamfara State and security-related matter. Perhaps you might see some political connection, you never can tell. But we've got two gentlemen joining us this morning. Abdullahi Sani Shinkafi, Abga chieftain. He contested the governorship elections in the state on that platform. We also do have right there Honorable Liman, who is the APC caretaker chairman for Zamfara State. Both of them joining us from Gusau. Gentlemen, good morning and thank you for joining us today on the program.
Good morning.
All right. Let me start with you, Mr. Shinkafi. Well, some statements have been credited to you indicating that there are some politicians who are behind the kidnappings in the state, and you say they're playing some sort of card. Could you shed some light on what you meant by that?
Yeah, and when the schoolgirls were adopted in the early hours of Friday, just few hours after the adoption of the schoolgirls, one APC chieftain was registered that day as a member, a current member of APC. After he was registered, there was a serious rally and jubilation when that APC chieftain received his party membership card. Because currently APC are doing revalidation of the membership card. On that day, there was no any sign of sympathy on the part of the APC as a party. After the governor had made a plea, he pleaded that there is no issue of apportioning blame, an issue of party politics or religious differences. All the parties should come to support him to see how these girls will be released, health and hearty. But it's very unfortunate when somebody who is trying to canvass for vote in an election and a fourth from Vatican call for holy mass and prayers for release of these innocent girls, and somebody residing domicile in Zamfara State, and he's doing a political rally after he collected a membership card. So that is why we say there's a grievous suspicion that something is trying to play out. And from this, those who mediate on the negotiation of the release of the adopted girls, the bandit there in their hideout made mention that on the APC, strong politician in Zamfara State have offered them 57 million to sabotage the release of the adopted innocent girls. So it is very unfortunate, as there is circumstantial evidence to link them off with it. Because you cannot celebrate when the state is in sorrow. People are in sorrow. They are in grievous shock. And people are celebrating because they went and took an ordinary membership, party membership card.
Honorable Liman.
It is the bandit.
All right, Honorable Shinkafi, just hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Let's bring in Honorable Liman to respond to what you said, because you have accused an APC chieftain in the state of being behind what transpired. How do you respond to that, Honorable Liman?
Thank you for giving me this, for having me this moment. But let me say, which many people in Zamfara know, that statement was very clear. Zamfara has condemned barbaric act. So for him coming out and making this kind of careless, I think we need to investigate. Why shouldn't you mention the name? if at all he said he knows those. You see, if you go to Zamfara, ask anybody, even a child or parent, knows people are using him as a push. In this kind of environment. I think that's good. Him sitting down here and saying, he's suspected of what he is. These are very slow issues that come out for them. And I said, you should only make a decision about who they are doing without it apparent. But when you know just who are behind this, why shouldn't he mention them? Let him mention them. And if you don't, we will take a serious action, necessary action against
Honorable Liman, the sound is not too sharp coming, listening to you so well, either from any of those ends. Both ends, actually, we'll just check that out and see how we can improve on that. But, Laji Shinkafi, well, part of what we heard, the much we can, or we could hear from him is that you can't make blanket statements about APC chieftain because he says you don't have concrete evidence. But in part of, some of what you have equally said out there, you equally said, and a certain APC chieftain too was heard making a call saying that the IGP was not cooperating with them. Could you shed some light as well on that one?
Well, it is people around them who have said they have heard one of the APC chieftain was saying IGP is not cooperating with them. It's not cooperating with them. And when he makes a statement, it was reported to the governor, and the governor relayed the information to the securities in the state. So when the security maybe go into discreet investigation, maybe they will come out with some facts. They will come out with some facts because they have did all what they are trying to do to pull down the state. It was on record when one of their members addressed a press conference that they are ready to take law into their hands. They were trying to harass and intimidate the former commissioner of police. It is on record. We have the video clips. And I wrote a petition to the Inspector General of Police to investigate that threat.
So do you know this APC chieftain in question?
Well, when the security go swing into investigation, they will come out with people who make such careless statement. Because the governor said it was reported to him.
Okay.
One of the APC chieftain was making a call. So that is why we have said the APC should request the IGP or securities to request for all the prominent politicians phones and check their call logs from that 24th to the day these girls were released. They should check their phone calls and get what everybody is discussing within that type of time when the girls are in captivity. That is the naked truth. There's nothing to celebrate. The issue of the security should not be only seen as Zamfara as the only epic center of insecurity. The security in Nigeria is a national phenomenon. There is no exception. No any place is safe in Nigeria.
Just hang on a bit, Elijah Shinkafi. Just hold on a minute. Let's try Honorable Liman and see if we could, get proper some clarity on that. Now, could you go ahead, Honorable Liman?
Yes, please. Can you hear me now clearly?
Yes, go ahead.
No, as I said earlier, this claim is a careless statement. I expected Abdullahi Shinkafi to mention names. You can't just come in a national TV like this and started accusing that you suspect. Why don't you mention them? This is a serious matter which we have called for several times that this issue should not be politicized. Because APC, being the strongest political party in the first, has a serious concern And we have always been advising that this issue should not be politicized. If you have this kind of a genuine, you say people who had them, why are you there? I think these are the questions that you even need to ask yourself. But I have said, these are the kind of people that who doesn't even allow the PDP government and the state are working with in order to cover up their non-performance. The issue of this is, you come out and say Mr. A, B, C, D, and in fact, I don't even know, the way I see it is as if I would play with the intelligence of security agencies. Because they should have this intelligence, even before you come out on national TV and start saying you are accusing the APC. And I said, we are not taking this lightly, and honestly, we will take a serious action against this. And we want you to come out and mention names. We will never be part of this.
So what kind of action are you going to take since you didn't mention names?
We will take necessary actions. Because if you said an APC members, what does that mean?
When you say necessary action, Honorable Liman, what kind of action would be necessary then?
Well, we will take an appropriate action that for this kind of careless statement coming from somebody who
okay.
Start to join and start to make it.
Clearly, Elijah Shinkafi is laughing at that statement. So just why is that giggle coming from you, Elijah Shinkafi?
No, they are blindfolded by their opposition and their desperation to come back to power in 2023 to cover up their mess, because it is on record that the APC-led government administration have looted them for our treasury ceiling. It's one of the part of the problem. People have been infected with artificial poverty because of their recklessness, and it is on record. It is only in Zamfara state, immediate past government, where a governor will publicly resign as chief security officer and abuse the oath of office and oath of allegiance he took as an executive governor. And this governor have gone on to be collecting security board 350 million naira. It is on record. On even channel, I saw it where the secretary to the state governor said they spent 35 billion naira on security matters, but there is nothing to write home about. But it's very unfortunate. It is very unfortunate. It is very unfortunate. We have the record. We have the record to substantiate our claims. We have the records. But it's very unfortunate. An armed banditry calling today in what armed banditry called today is not different with armed banditry called in the last government. And on record, more than 6,500 people were killed under the supervision of the former governor of Zamfara State. More than 25,000 people were thrown as orphans under their APC leadership. More than 2.8 billion was paid as ransom under their watch. Economic activities have been grounded. Commercial activities have been grounded. Farming, all farmers deserted their farms. Major markets were closed down. People are being killed discriminately. More than 6,000 women were rendered without husband as widows, orphans. So this is very unfortunate. This is the government which the governor was sitting on power without fair scholarship, without fair work and NEPO. So what is he talking about? He's too economical with the truth, and he's blindfolded by desperation to come back to power.
Excuse me.
When the wind blows, we shall see the annals of the hand.
You see, you are just debating the main issue we are discussing now.
Liman, please go ahead.
Get your reporter to get you a video clip of his campaign rally. What he has been saying to even PDP government now he's serving. So he's the kind of person that can say so many things for one thing or the other. We were discussing about an issue of importance now. This issue of security. You raise an issue. You need to come out and say this and that. These are the person. This is the person. All this you have been, everybody knows you in Zamfara. You can say as many things as you want.
Not in Zamfara. Everybody knows me in Nigeria more than you.
No, knows who you are.
I know you. I know you right when we're in the high school. When you are in intro in Birnin Kebbi, I graduated in 1991. You are there as intro student.
Very responsible student.
Oh, don't talk that way.
You should mention names. You don't just
when the time I have said it. Go and look an interpretation of the proper Ahmed. When the winds blow, we shall see the annals of the head.
For him. So you can say so many things. Everybody knows you in Zamfara.
You are entitled to an opinion. You are entitled to an opinion.
Out to say this.
Let's put in this question so that Nigerians can hear you properly, so you don't talk over yourselves. It will be a little muddled up. So can I have both of you speak about the measures taken by the federal government now to see how they can rein in those running riot in the states with the declaration of the no-fly zone? Alhaji Shinkafi, will that work?
Well, the issue of no-fly zone has no much importance to the state because we don't have even an airport, even a mini airstrip, or a mini airport. The most important thing, the Mr. President should tighten his belt and discharge his constitutional mandate as the Commander-in-Chief Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So the issue of no-fly zone has no much effect. What we are supporting, Mr. President, I support Mr. President executive order, ordering security to shoot any person they found with AK-47. In this type of situation, you have to go into two double barrel approach. That is carrot and stick approach. Peace accord. When anybody who embraces peace, then the government can grant him amnesty and fight those who refuse to repent. Since this is what's supposed to be. And no, we are in total support of any measures. That is the president.
So just hold on a minute. Okay, just hold on. Honorable Liman, could you respond briefly before we go to break?
Thank you. We support it 100%. And in fact, we were surprised and shocked when initially we had the state government were rejecting the no-fly zone order. The extent of the state assembly were making a vote of no confidence on the national security advisor, because we believe the federal government has what it takes. What we want only for the state government is to reorganize security architecture and also allow security agencies to do the needful so that we can get out of this
All right, gentlemen, just hold on a minute. Don't adjust your systems. We'll be back in a moment. Stay with us. Welcome back. Well, gentlemen, we just getting your closing thoughts now as we wind down. So, Alhaji Shinkafi, what do you suggest should be done now to ensure peace reigns in Zamfara states moving forward?
Well, the most important thing is for the Mr. President to deploy more military forces as the Commander-in-Chief Armed Forces of the Republic of Nigeria, and to make sure that all form of crime and criminalities should be fought vigorously. And also, there should be a time where all the politicians in the state will be called to sign an accord, because some of the politicians are overheating the security situation. Anybody will bear me witness. The present administration of Governor Lematole have reduced the armed bandit to the barest minimum level through peace initiative accord. The governor is not the CNC. The APC-led government at the federal is being presided over by Mr. President, and he's not the president of APC, the president of Nigeria. So I charge Mr. President to deploy serious military to make sure that some of this hideout of armed bandits who refuse to embrace peace should be flushed out completely.
So, all right, Alaji Shinkafi. So, if the security agencies were to invite you, having listened to what you said about some politicians, would you give them names?
You see, what I have said, there is an egregious allegation. Allegation is a probability. It may be true or it may not be true. And anybody is entitled to his opinion. People around that APC bigwigs are the people who said they had in a phone conversation telling somebody, I don't know who they were, he's telling. So what I'm saying, I'm ready to make such statement. Nobody, let me make it clear, because he was saying necessary, nobody can intimidate me. Nobody, and nobody can, I cannot be intimidated by anybody.
What
the Liman is trying to say is trying to point my face and intimidate. He cannot intimidate.
Okay, let's hear from him. Let's hear from him. Honorable Liman, go ahead, please.
Yeah, what I'm saying is that one need to be very responsible. This statement you make by saying 56 or 57 million was offered to, I think that statement is very irresponsible statement. That's why I said you need to withdraw that. But you are coming back now to say it is an allegation.
I cannot. Let me tell you
now.
It is the mediators. It is the mediators who went there to mediate with the bandit. They say some people who are from the former government are trying to.
You have shown. Let me.
You are entitled to your opinion, my friend. You are not even the system.
Let me tell you, you are not even helping the system because you are shown clearly who you are working for.
You are celebrating when you are. There was a statement.
Last week,
I know.
As the chairman of a committee.
All right, gentlemen. We need to call it today. We do thank you both, Alaji Abdullahi Sani Shinkafi, Abga Chieftain, and then we also have had Honorable Lawal Liman, who is the APC Caretaker Committee Chairman, Zamfara State. Gentlemen, thank you for your perspectives this morning.
I have an evidence. You are.
Unfortunately,
I guess the conversation